Free, free!
Bob Vylan went on to lead the crowd, or parts of it, in a chant of death, death to the IDF, Israel's army.
Well, I thought it was appalling, to be honest, and I think the BBC and Glastonbury have got questions to answer about how we saw such a spectacle on our screens. I'd also say to the Israeli embassy, get your own house in order in terms of the conduct of your own citizens and the settlers in the West Bank.
The BBC said it would not be making the set available on demand, calling some of the comments made during it deeply offensive, adding that a warning was issued on screen about the very strong and discriminatory language. Glastonbury organiser Emily Evis posted on Instagram saying, "We are appalled by the statements made from the West Holt stage by Bob Vylan yesterday. Their chants very much crossed a line, and we are urgently reminding everyone involved in the production of the festival that there is no place at Glastonbury for anti-Semitism, hate speech or incitement to violence." So far, the band's response to the controversy has been limited to this Instagram post.
The scenes yesterday will have triggered a response in a great many people. Tens of thousands of people who claim to be humanitarians, young people chanting for death.
Do you think they were chanting for the deaths of individual soldiers or in opposition to what they see as the instrument of war crimes in Gaza?
There is no excuse for anti-Semitism. Whatever is happening elsewhere, extremism and anti-Semitism is caused by extremists and anti-Semites.
Kneecap set has now been made available on the BBC's iPlayer in edited form, though still containing chants against Sir Keir Starmer and allegations of Israeli war crimes. One member, Liam Ogohani, was charged in May with a terror offence for allegedly displaying a Hezbollah flag, which he denies.
They're speaking out, and I think that that's important and good for them.
It was epic. It was brilliant. Speaking up for the Palestinians is the most important thing that Kneecap have done.
Music brings us together. We need music.
This afternoon it was over to Rod Stewart, the octogenarian rocker mocked by Kneecap for being older than the State of Israel. But for most in the Glastonbury sunshine, this was an opportunity for nostalgia to prevail over politics.
Well, Lord Mann is the government's independent advisor on anti-Semitism, and he joins me now. Lord Mann, Bob Vylan, for a start, cites the Sex Pistols as one of their influences. Do you think Bob Vylan and Kneecap are part of a kind of long tradition of musicians being provocative, or is it something much more concerning than that?
Yeah, well, he's somebody who just wants to get a few headlines for himself by being extreme. But no, this isn't a tradition of music or music festivals. And there's always been plenty of politics on the fringes of Glastonbury, occasionally on the stages. But this is something quite different. These festivals are meant to be about peace and love and people coming together and everyone feeling able to go. And you have someone getting up and shouting for people to be killed.
Okay, so do you think do you think a criminal offence may have been committed then?
Well, that's for the police to decide. But I think it may well find he's got more problems with this rant he went in about somebody he'd worked with who was clearly Jewish because he abused him for being so, as part of his narrative. I mean, what's that all about? To suddenly, some personal dispute he's got with someone, to be ranting in front of thousands of people about it. Right. It was wholly unprofessional. It was pathetic, to be honest, and it's not what festivals should be about. And imagine if you're a young Jewish person, and there were some there, and I've spoken to some, in the middle of all of this. How does it make you feel? Are you being included in everything?
Well, what do you make of the BBC's conduct? Because, they've issued a warning on screen. The performance won't be available on iPlayer. They already decided not to live stream Kneecap over concerns about past comments from that group. Did they do all they could, or are you concerned, as the BBC's critics allege, that there's a problem there, a bias against Israel?
Well, I think they've managed to get themselves snookered. I think they need to look. They've got enough staff at Glastonbury. They ought to have been able to see this problem coming, but I don't think they've done this willfully. They've allowed themselves to be outmanoeuvred and snookered to create this platform. And I know my criticism is of the organisers of Glastonbury, who put these people on, sorted out when they were going on, put them on the same stage pretty much at the same time as kind of the warm-up act, Now that's deliberate, that's calculated.
Well,
and the impact on Jewish people at the festival, some of them have told me, is very negative.
Glastonbury have said that they were appalled by the statements made by Bob Vylan and their chants crossed a line, and they're reminding everyone involved in the festival that there's no place at Glastonbury for anti-Semitism. You know, the BBC has also said that some of the comments made were deeply offensive. But do you think that there's a growing number of Jewish people in the UK are feeling that the country isn't safe for them and that the national broadcaster has a problem with Jewish people?
I think there's a lot of young Jewish. I'm particularly concerned what young Jewish people feel. Why shouldn't they be able to go to a festival like Glastonbury if they can afford it and enjoy themselves without being picked on? That's what should happen for everybody in our country. Why should young Jewish people, the Jewish community, be any different? And if there was going to be anything different, what about the Nova Festival, where nearly 400 young people were murdered, some taken as hostage and then murdered, some eventually released as hostages,
a lot of young people
going to a music festival. But that never featured. That hasn't featured at Glastonbury.
But a lot of young people equally are really concerned about what they see unfolding in Gaza and the fact that, as they see it, the Labour government has been quite slow to call that out, belatedly doing so. What do you say to that?
The young people are entitled to have whatever views they have. And, you know, I'm not objecting. I don't think anyone reasonable is objecting to there being politics on the sidelines, whoever it is at Glastonbury, or for musicians to occasionally say something. This crossed the line in a big way. And the point of the Nova Festival, you know, their slogan is, "We will dance again." Well, why is that banner not up at Glastonbury? Isn't that what Glastonbury's about?
Lord Mann, thank you very much for